You're listening to a Monster Kid podcast.
Why don't we rent a video tonight?
Yeah, can we please?
On a weeknight?
Yeah, come on, Mom. It's okay.
Sure. Come on. Let's throw caution to the wind.
Put a little weekend in your week. Rent a video.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Vericon Video, a show where we relive forgotten and unforgettable movies that once line the shelves of video stores everywhere. Brandon here, and first off, apologies for the reduction in sound quality. As some of you know, I've been in the process of moving to another state, and my usual podcasting mic hasn't quite caught up to me here yet. But anyway, today we're back with a very special episode. This is the first in our new chat series, where we sit down with someone who works in the film industry and has some connection to a culturally significant film from the video store era. To kick things off, my guest host Lewis from Random Movie Roulette and co-host of our sideshow, the Gory Picture Show, joins me to talk to Ira Heiden, the wizard master himself from A Nightmare on Elm Street 3, Dream Warriors. So take some Hypnosil and sit back, relax, and welcome.
Welcome to the Cafe 80s, where it's always morning in America, even in the afternoon.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain speaking. I have the only gun on board. Welcome to Con Air.
Welcome to Jurassic Park.
Okay, good evening, America, and welcome aboard Apollo 13.
I'm so glad you could come. This is going to be such an exciting day. I hope you're enjoying it. I think you will.
Hi, Brandon. How are you?
I'm doing great, man. Thank you so much for taking time to talk with us.
Yeah, I'm sorry it took a long time.
Hey, no, it's fine. I mean, the last several months have been pretty crazy anyway. So
A little nutty, that's for sure, huh?
yeah, but otherwise, you've been holding up okay. With all the goings on.
So far, so good. It's been a little difficult. Having a child and trying to do the whole online process. It's a little different, that's for sure.
Yeah, and I know.
Hey.
And hey, Lewis.
Now I can't hear you guys.
It's a great shirt, by the way.
See, I should have gotten more dressed up for the occasion. You too, Brandon.
Oh, I know. I should have.
I got it.
Why does my thing say Tamara Hayden? Why does my wife's name come up here? I just don't get that. Technology is just the worst. So we just got a new laptop computer, and on it says my name, not his name. On my phone, it's my wife's name, and on my computer, it's her name. And on her phone, it's my name.
Yeah.
Master, not the technology master. That's
Thank you again so much for taking time to talk with us. We're really excited to have you.
Yeah, dude, that was the first Nightmare on Elm Street movie I ever saw. So I grew up watching that scene of the Wizard Master. So this is so cool, man. It's so nice to meet you.
I should have brought my glasses up. I just actually did one of those cameos earlier, and I have my original glasses from the movie.
Oh, my God.
Oh, that's awesome. Cool. Yeah, so you're on Cameo. Very nice.
That's right. Tell all your fans. Tell everybody.
Yes, we got to plug that.
Absolutely. So I guess we'll just kick things off. Do you have any memories about the video store or video store going experience that are or were special to you?
Yeah, I mean, going and getting the VHS for movie night was always the best, going to like Music Plus, Blockbuster Video, the Warehouse, all of those places. There was a place in LA called Rocket Video, which was off of Melrose and La Brea. And they had the more obscure VHSs. You had to become a member to get their stuff, which was really cool.
That is cool. Were there any particular movies that you rented more than others when you just kept going back to?
Gosh, Being There, Peter Sellers.
Very nice, yeah. Love Peter Sellers. I actually just watched him in, what did I watch? Murder by Death.
I haven't seen that one yet.
Oh, it's good. It's good. It's Peter Falk and David Niven.
What kind of titles were you able to find in this exclusive video store? What was the exciting scoop?
It was exciting to find like Blue Velvet.
Mm. Oh, yeah. It's a good find. Listen, David Lynch.
Heineken.
Fuck bitch.
Blue ribbon. I can't
tell you how many times I've heard that line in college, in film school. Everyone just, at every party, if there is Heineken, it gets out of control. The cops are called every time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of stuff like that. I also liked Renting Alien, the original one. let's see, Steve Martin, Father of the Bride. Oh, no, wait, that was 90s, and I was in that movie.
Yeah.
Nothing off the top of my head that I could really remember, but I just remember Rocket Video, which was pretty cool.
I have to look that up. There's really not many that are still around these days. It's very niche.
Isn't there like only one video store in like Bend, Oregon? Isn't there like a warehouse?
Yeah, it's the last Blockbuster, I believe. And it's like a mecca for movie enthusiasts and people who appreciate the culture of that time. Like it draws people from all over the world.
Yeah, it's like specifically like video store culture. Exactly, like you said, it's a mecca.
Do you guys remember like trying to make sure that you got there and you got it back on time, so you didn't get charged?
Yeah,
all 25, which led up to bigger and bigger prices.
Oh, absolutely. And I remember like having to pretty much stalk the video store, like because there'd be like a new release and they only had a few copies of it, and so you'd have to wait until someone brought it back, and as soon as they put it back on the shelf,
yeah, swoop in.
Yeah.
Did you guys ever run into? Here I am asking you the question.
Oh no, that's fine. Yeah,
it's great.
Any of your friends like at the video store?
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, it was a very social environment. Like, I even made friends at the video store, and it was kind of a pilgrimage. I think a lot of friends and I would take to the video store because it was a place where you could discover new films and talk about them and just walk around like it was this kind of art gallery. That's kind of how it was for me.
It was fun, and to kind of throw back in the 80s, I had a manager, Jerry Silverhart, back in the 80s. And he had a lot of great actors, and one of them was Richard Grieco. And
oh wow!
I was at Blockbuster, and there's Richard Grieco with Kimber Sissons, who he was dating at the time. Hey, Richard, what are you doing? What are you renting? Oh, really? Zapped? Why are you renting Zapped?
That's so interesting because I feel like I don't know if that kind of thing could have happened in a regular Blockbuster. Like, not the ones that I grew up with, at least. Like those local video stores seem to have that communal feel. But I remember going to visit my cousin. I live on Long Island, so just like I lived on Long Island, so up Long Island. Oh yeah, they're great. And going to their video store, which was just like this little hole in the wall place, and it was so much cooler, and like the people wanted to talk to you, which was crazy. In Blockbuster, I always felt like I was getting rushed in, rushed out.
Boom, boom, right?
Yeah, that's so cool that you guys had that.
Yeah, especially in a town where you literally can go to where you used to be able to go to Starbucks and you would see George Clooney or
oh wow,
Mel Gibson, out here. I think the video stores were really fun. That and also like music stores. I miss records that used to be on.
Tower Records and Sam Goody. Yeah, Camelot.
That can also be part of the video culture. That's unfortunately lost.
Yeah, I mean, video stores, were a fun way to discover new films we might otherwise not have known about. And like for me, it was the mystique of the VHS artwork, and that made me curious about, what was inside. Especially, it's very relevant, of course, but seeing the Elm Street films on the shelf, along with Halloween, Friday the 13th, Hellraiser, Children of the Corn, all these great blossoming franchises at the time that had these very interesting covers, whereas now, we get a lot of lazy Photoshop artwork to sell these films. And back then it just seemed like the art contributed so much to the allure, and the mystique. Do you happen to remember any covers from that time, Ira, that caught your attention? Like, oh, I got to rent this.
I think a lot of the times when I did go into the store, it would be knowing what I was wanting to get. Mm-hmm. But I mean, I can't really think right now of like any cover that really made me go, oh, wait, I want to grab that. I want to see what that's like, But Children of the Corn, that's a good one.
That is a good one, yeah.
Ghostbusters was also a fun one.
Yeah. Those that had like some kind of iconic branding that sold the film. It wasn't just the stars. It was this kind of branding identity that, that made use of, that rectangular frame. And I mean, even Dream Warriors, I remember picking up the VHS in the video store, and I still remember one of the still frames of Patricia Arquette and the Freddy snake being on the back, and it's covered in muck, and just as a child thinking, what is this movie about? And just that one image just conjured up so much mystery because it was so taboo at the time.
for sure. And there was something that was really exciting for me. A part of that video cassette is on the back is also the picture of Freddie holding me up dead. With the wizard tape and everything. I was like, yes, I made the cover.
Yeah, you did it. It's so awesome. Side note, I visited Planet Hollywood in Nashville when I lived in Tennessee. This was probably mid-90s or so, but they had the chair from the scene with you and Freddie. It was at least one of them, I guess they made, but it had seen better days, but they had it in the lobby.
All right. I'm trying to find it right now. So when I was on the set, I took pictures of it, and let's see if I can actually show you. They had made two.
Oh, wow.
Oh, that's great. Yeah.
This actually came from my camera.
Oh my God, that's incredible.
Yeah.
And those were the two that they used, because one of them they had to blow up and the other one they sent at me. And right now, that chair, or the one that's still left, is at some warehouse auction place in the valley here in LA.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
That's so cool.
But that's cool. It's probably the same one that you got to see.
Yeah, because I know at the time,
everything on it.
Yeah, it was in pretty rough shape. I have pictures of that somewhere, actually. But something you brought up earlier about video stores and music stores, like just the way we consume media has just changed so drastically. Excuse me, just the decline of physical media and the rise of streaming. It's all digital assets now, and it's become increasingly difficult to make film watching a collective experience because it's so decentralized. Like we can just, we have to have our devices and stuff. We can't trade and loan out movies to friends anymore. And so streaming providers are trying to approximate that experience with this watch together type features. So in your opinion, do you feel like we may have lost something like in the communal aspect of picking and watching movies together?
I mean, honestly, Brandon, Lewis, have you guys ever been to a outdoor drive-in movie theater?
Yes.
I have. Yes.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. So you understand what that was like. You pull up and you're there with your buddies or whatever. Everyone drives in.
Yeah.
And you get a big screen, which is like so cool to actually watch it.
Yeah.
So if anything good came out of this pandemic, is that it feels like drive-ins are coming back.
Yes,
absolutely.
You can keep socially distant and watch the movie and still text your friend or call your friend and be, oh my God, look at it, this is awesome.
Yeah.
I checked out the Mahoning Drive-In actually in Pennsylvania. I went for a weekend with some of my co-hosts. Everyone's sitting even outside their car. Everyone was still socially distancing and everything. Like we were wearing the masks and everything. But like even just being around people again, really, I felt like such a dramatic shift in what my movie watching experience had been since, March 10th or whatever, whenever we started really hunkering down.
Right.
It's so hard not to miss that. And I think going to the drive-in, you get that even more so. It feels like you're camping with everyone. It's a communal experience that, like, 'cause I grew up in the age of the internet, so like everything's very separated. So that's like a cool way to watch movies with people. Do you enjoy like watching movies like with your family, like sitting down and?
Yeah, we do. We actually have every Friday night we make pizza and we watch movies. So.
Oh, that's amazing.
Cool. One of these days, I'm going to get my son and wife to watch one of my movies.
You're living the dream, man.
I know, right?
Yeah. What you guys were talking about is, it was an experience it was a shared experience, whereas I think, the way technology is heading, it's becoming much more individualized, and personalized, even like these algorithms that pick, these are the types of movies you might enjoy. It just feels, I don't know, I'm very biased because I'm a big proponent of, that bygone era, but it's been much more difficult to have that kind of thing. And so I'm glad to hear that you and your family has become this ritual, that you do, and you do it together.
Yep, it is. It is a lot of fun. But also, going back to what we were saying, even when you have that experience, when you get to go to the movies, like let's say it's the new Star Wars or something, going to that and enjoying that and having that energy with the audience is something that's just, it's amazing.
Yeah, it's you said energy, like it's this, it's palpable, like in the space, like it's we're all kind of in this together.
It's like a rock concert almost. Like, I mean, like I remember seeing and not even a movie I particularly enjoy, but I remember seeing The Force Awakens in theaters on opening night and just being in that room and what that felt like, the adrenaline going because of how excited everyone was for it. Those experiences become as memorable.
Yeah. And I mean, again, it's totally different than going to the VHS store, or grabbing a VHS.
Right.
Whereas that is such a great personal experience, where you can share that experience with someone over the phone or whatever. Oh my gosh, do you remember that? Yeah, we rented it last night and it was so epic. It was so great. That's also a really cool part to have,
Yeah. And I think with, the recent resurgence of, Joe Bob Briggs and his, The Last Drive-In and especially on Twitter, there's, a budding horror community or, a much closer knit group of people who are making movie watching much more synchronous, for lack of a better word. That's what Dream Warriors. So what was it like for you and your friends and your castmates when this film came out on home video?
First, let's back up to, I actually was working on a movie in San Augustine, Florida. I was working on Illegally Yours, where I play Rob Lowe's brother. Peter Bogdanovich directed. And so I didn't get to go to the premiere. So our whole cast in this movie went to see that movie in the movie theater. And it was really fun. And some of the people came up to me and were like, "You were in the movie." I was like, "Yes." That was actually my first movie where people could recognize me in a movie. And one girl goes, "I cried when you died." But the experience of when it went to VHS was pretty cool. I mean, I had no idea what this movie was going to do or be like. I mean, we worked on a movie that was, I think our budget was $1 million. We poured our heart and soul, old school effects, really honing in on our skills as actors. But then it goes on VHS. And I mean, I was kind of blown away by how many people would want to rent this movie. I'll never forget that I was totally sick with a cough and a cold. And, as actors, we get residual checks from when everybody rents movies or, stuff. Mm-hmm. And so my first VHS check was like close to $10,000.
Oh, wow. Wow.
And I got to tell you that I got over being sick, just like that.
Yeah.
But I had no idea. I did not realize. I mean, I watched the first one and I thought the first one was scarier than hell. The second one, it was a little different. But my friend Kim Myers was in that one. And so she played one of the leads. And so it was great. I was happy for her. And then, we worked on 3. The people that I got to work with, Lawrence Fishburne, Patricia Arquette, all the kid actors that I'm still friends with to this day, Bradley Gregg, Rodney Eastman, Ken Sagos, Jennifer Rubin, Penelope. I mean, we're all still friends. I really had no idea, first, that I would have such friendships for so long. 2, what an iconic movie it was going to turn into.
Yeah. It's quite something that you maintain those friendships, from that experience to have extended beyond just the job, you're working this gig and then it's over. I mean, it's brief and intense, and then you move on to other things.
That does happen a lot. I guess I feel like maybe it's a part of who I am, but the movies that I've worked on, I've pretty much stayed in touch with all the people that I've worked with, and especially like Elvira, Mistress of the Dark.
Right.
I just watched that.
Did you?
I did, yeah, just the other night.
Did you grab your tool and start banging?
Yeah, oh my God. I was and am and will always be so in love with her.
The one-liners that he has are just crazy.
Amazing.
Yes. And she is
like Don Rickles wrote it.
Yeah. And she's a wonderful, true hard rock and roller. I remember we were shooting at Warner Brothers and I had like a 5 o'clock call. And she always had an earlier call because she had to get into all her makeup. So I'm like grabbing my cup of coffee, heading to my trailer. And all of a sudden I just hear blasting out of her trailer, "Welcome to the jungle." Guns N' Roses, hard rock, anything heavy metal.
Oh, that makes me so happy to hear. She's everything I hoped she would be.
Oh, and more so. I mean, she's hysterical. We text each other a bunch, and jokes fly, and she's always been my best friend. Yeah, so
well done.
Nice. It's funny. I was just thinking. So, like, not long after Dream Warriors came out, I was probably 3 or 4, and I was exposed to Freddy Krueger and the films up to that point through the merchandising targeting children. And so I had the mask and the glove and the trading cards and the little rubber squirt balls with Freddy's face on it. Cool. So yeah, I love that stuff. I loved it back then. But back then, or even now as a parent, like, what is your reaction to children's or young people's fascination with Freddy, or I guess Freddy mania at that time?
It's the yin and yang. Like, I think purposely we've held back from letting our son watch the movie because it can pretty much rattle you. There's some deep psychosis going on with a guy that murders you in your sleep.
Right.
But yet sometimes I think some people, when they've watched kids that have watched it, like I used to do conventions when we were allowed to go to them. And I was amazed that there would be like 3 or 4-year-olds walking around with the glove,
Yeah.
coming up like, Freddy, who are you? Freddy.
I wish I could say I was one of those brave kids. I watched Dream Warriors when I was around that age, like 4 or 5 years old, on HBO by accident. It was the first horror anything I think really I've ever seen. First Nightmare on Elm Street, certainly. And I couldn't sleep in the dark for years.
Same.
Don't have the concept.
How do you
right?
sleep?
Exactly.
Just watch something. Let's all pretend, but he got you in your dreams.
Right.
You're defenseless. You can't conceivably do anything to help yourself.
Exactly.
And I guess what it's been 33 years since it came out.
33. Yep.
Yeah. So I guess looking back, like seeing Dream Warriors as part of this broader canon, like, how was your relationship to that film and I guess the franchise as a whole changed since then?
Like I said, I was approached probably about 10 years ago to start doing these conventions. And, I would go to a Starbucks or anything. Oh my God, you were the Wizard Master. I was like, yeah. But when I started doing the conventions and there were hundreds of people at the Q&A, I was just like, this is cool. So that experience, just all these people that just were affected by this movie in such a way is phenomenal and wonderful. And, and the whole figure of how we were kids banding together in a mental ward where they thought we were all, loony to try and attack this demon. It was last year at this time, last year in September, I produced a reading. We had a reading of the script of Dream Warriors. And we had at the famous Whiskey A Go-Go on the Sunset Strip. And we got pretty much everybody from the original cast. Robert Englund, Heather Langenkamp, Bradley Gregg, Rodney Eastman. But there were, a few people that were actually in conventions. So Jennifer Rubin and Sagos couldn't do it. But we raised almost $15,000 for mental health awareness.
Wow. That's incredible.
Yeah. And so that, when you think about what this franchise has done and to be able to pull off something like that, to raise money for something that's so important right now. I mean,
yeah,
beyond a doubt, it's pretty special. There are 3 movies that I've done. I've done more movies than that, but there's 3. There's Nightmare, there's Elvira, and then there's Father of the Bride, which I had a small part with Steve Martin, which was epic to me because he was my favorite comedian growing up.
Oh yeah.
But of all of those, I really feel that Nightmare has affected way more, and I feel it's in a positive way.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, just for me personally, I feel like, even just friends of mine, like it's it's something that we still continue to talk about and find new themes or we can apply new meaning to it, and for a modern context. And I think that's a sign of something that is really great that can withstand the test of time like that, and to be that can continue to evolve, I guess.
Yeah. Pretty much every Halloween, people are renting it. That and Elvira.
Mhm.
And it's nice. I just would like to go back to the old VHS days and jump back and grab one of those. You know. I did get a copy from New Line Cinema with Robert Shea, who was our big producer, who signed it and said, "Great job, Ira." And I still have that cassette somewhere. I have to find it.
Wow.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I also have a great picture of Freddie killing me, and or he's about to. And he wrote, "To Ira, eat shit and die." Freddie said, yeah, he's a great man. Robert Englund, boy, if you ever have the chance to meet him or sit down and have a conversation with that actor, he knows everything about everyone, and he tells wonderful stories. He's a great guy.
Yeah, he seems very almost scholarly articulate at times.
Seems like a real old school Shakespearean actor. Like he's isn't he classically trained?
Yes, he is.
Yeah, it shows. He's very eloquent.
And I remember in interviews he would talk about, this dance with Heather and I, it's the Beauty and the Beast, and that kind of thing. But yeah, I mean, I come from academia, Ira, so I can say that Freddy's Revenge has had a new life now. Like it's garnering new attention and appreciation in cult circles as well. With queer horror, people really starting to re-examine and appreciate that in a new light today. And which I think is great. And I think it's another example of how we can take something back then and look at it in a new way today.
For sure.
I went into Spencer's on a whim the other day, and Freddy is still very much there. Yeah, there was even a T-shirt with the Dream Warriors key art on the front. So it's still out there. And I think not too long ago, within the past year, the Wes Craven estate was taking pitches for a new take on the Elm Street franchise, and I think even Robert Englund and some others still seem pretty hopeful that the series or the franchise will be reinvented and live on in some way. So I'll just ask you, what would you like to see for the future of the franchise, or should it be left alone?
I don't know. I think remakes are great. I think if they're done correctly, they could be wonderful. I mean, for example, Father of the Bride. The original one was back in the 60s. Elizabeth Taylor. Elizabeth Taylor.
So, yeah.
And then you remake it with Steve Martin, and you bring in Martin Short, and you bring in Ira Heiden. You bring in all these other characters again, and it kind of revamps itself, and it's a wonderful picture. So I would love to see more of Nightmare being made again. There's been talk about Nightmare 3 being remade. I would love to see that. I would love to see who would play the Wizard Master, and I would love to play that Wizard Master's dad.
Yeah.
Hell yes.
It would have to happen that way.
But I mean, then that's not staying too true to the script. Son, what are you doing up so late? Get back in your wheelchair. But Dad, he's coming up and, don't you touch that hypnosil. You leave it alone.
Well,
I think we just print that script and we send it on over. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I think we should do that. Just a side note, my boyfriend and I are going to watch Dream Warriors tonight in celebration after we finish our interview. But just to kind of close things off, have you watched anything lately that you want to recommend?
Lately, we've been really into documentaries.
Okay.
20 Feet from Stardom
Okay.
is an awesome documentary, and it's about the backup singers.
Oh,
okay.
I've heard of this. Yeah.
It's really good. And then 2 nights ago, we just finished the Frank Sinatra documentary, All or Nothing at All.
He is such a fascinating man, Frank Sinatra.
Yeah.
I love him. I hate him. I mean, the things that where he came from, it's just unbelievable. And the things that he did for racism and for bullying, and with, what's his name? With Sammy Davis Jr.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
I mean,
really going to bat for him.
Right? Phenomenal. But then you see how terrible it is. I don't want to give everything away, although you probably know history. The affairs, and then when President Kennedy gets elected, he's not allowed to have Sammy and his wife at the inauguration. But it's a wonderful, wonderful documentary.
Where did you find it?
Netflix.
Netflix. Okay.
I've heard of it.
Well, lastly, Ira, are there any recent or upcoming things for you that you wanted to share?
Well, anybody can find me on Cameo if they want to get a Wizard Master shout out, which is a lot of fun. I'm also co-producing a wonderful documentary on my friend Brandon Lee.
Oh, wow.
He was a good friend. And we're also currently producing a movie, but we haven't started up yet. But it's written by Brandon's best friend, Bill Allen, who was in Rad, which was a great vehicle.
Yes. Yes, it was.
Yes, Rad is awesome.
Get him for you guys. Bill Allen. I mean, Rad just came back out, actually. It's on Amazon Prime, and it's
Vinegar Syndrome just put it out again, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's such a great 80s. I'm booking him for you guys.
Thanks. Okay. That's awesome.
He co-wrote with Lou Diamond Phillips a wonderful movie that I'm co-producing as well. So a few things in the fire.
Yeah. Okay.
Is there anywhere people could follow you to stay tuned to what you're doing?
Yeah, I'm on Twitter at Ira Heiden. On Facebook, there's the Ira Heiden page, which has a lot of fun pictures and a lot of stuff like that. And I do all the stuff on there. I don't have my assistant, son, or wife doing any of that.
Awesome.
Well, Ira, thank you again so much. This has been such a delight, and we really appreciate it. It's been a lot of fun.
Totally cool. And I mean it. I'm getting billed for you.
Okay.
Can't wait.
Cool.
Well, thanks again. You have a good night.
Yes, you too. Thank you, and enjoy the movie.
So nice meeting you.
I will.
And whatever you do, don't fall asleep.
We hope you enjoyed the first episode in our new chat series. More to come very soon. So we've been doing some restructuring around here at Veracon Video, and Jordan, the tall guy Schmidt, has been promoted to co-host. So we'll have new episodes coming out with him to Patreon and our main feed. So follow us on Twitter at Veracon Video to stay in the know. And we'll see you soon.
Goodbye, Vietnam! That's right. I'm history. I'm out of here. I got the lucky ticket home, baby.
Okay, bye-bye. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, Jenny.
Bye-bye, boys.
Have fun storming the castle. Goodbye.
Do take good care of yourself.
What is this, your farewell speech? Going home. Have a good trip.
Hasta la vista, baby. I have to go.
Adieu, auf Wiedersehen, Gesundheit.
Farewell.